Hey everyone, welcome back to SQL 50. Now that we're done with select, we're gonna move on to basic joins, and yeah, we're gonna be doing all the problems on these in this part of the course. So the first problem is replace employee ID with unique identifier. Problem number 1378. This question has two tables as opposed to the one table we were doing before. One table is employees. It has ID and name, in which the ID is the primary key, and each row of this table contains the ID and the name of the employee in a company. And then we have a second table called employee uni, in which we have ID again and a unique ID. And similarly to the previous table, each row of this table contains the ID and the corresponding unique ID of an employee. So what this problem wants us to do is write a solution to show the unique ID of each user. If a user does not have a unique ID, then we just replace it with null. And you can return the result in any order, basically. So as you can see here, we have these two tables, and the output is the name and the unique ID each name has based on the two IDs in the table. So for instance, Winston here has an ID of 90. So we look at the ID 90 in the second table, and that corresponds to unique ID number 3. So Winston will have the unique ID of number 3. And for people who don't have a unique ID, we just return null. So for example, here Alice has an ID of 1, and 1 is not in the ID table, a column here in the second table. So we just have null there. So to do this, we need to use the join function. So first we just select everything we need as usual. So now the syntax is a little different because before we only had one table, so we could just write the column name. Now we also have to specify which table the column is coming from. So for instance, we need unique ID and name. Unique ID is in the employee uni table. So employee uni dot unique ID. And then we need the name, which is in the employee table. So employees dot name. And then from. So since we're going to join the employee table onto the uni table, first we just select employees, and then we join the employee uni table. Sorry, here we're going to have to left join the employee uni table, because we have to do left join because what left join does is basically it matches each name here from the employees table will get matched onto the unique ID. However, if there isn't a corresponding name that matches with the unique ID, then it just puts it as null. So here, continuing here, we have to join it on something common that these both tables have, so that SQL basically has a reference to match which name with what unique ID. And that common column is ID here, since we have it in both tables. So we match that. Employee uni.id equals to employees.id. And yep, so what this basically does is it joins the employees tables with the employees uni table based on the IDs on both, and it matches everything, and if it doesn't find a matching ID, then it just returns null. So for example here, Alice doesn't have there is no ID for number 1, number 3, and number 7. So Alice, Bob, and Jonathan all will just have null in their output. So let's run this. And yep, this works. And just a little syntax tip, just so you don't have to write the table names again and again as I've done here, you can even use aliases. So you can have this as A, Yep, and this as B, and then we can just replace everything. So employee uni is B, and this is A, and this is B, and this is A. So what this does, as you can see, is it simplifies the syntax a lot more, and it's easier to read. And yeah, still works. Thank you.